Were you ever shot down or nearly shot down?
I came as close as I ever wanted to be. I was just west of the Brawl, where Ho Chi Minh Trail crosses the river. I was at very low altitude. Took a 37 millimeter hit to the horizontal stabilizer and all but blew it off.
Blossomed it out into the slipstream. So you've got a little airplane with a lot of drag on, asymmetrical drag.
We managed to nurse it back to Dak To, so that's the close I ever wanted to come.
Luke was in my back seat. We stayed a little too late one night at supporting a SLAM mission, which was put in to interdict the trail. And weather had moved in. It was getting dark, and it was down to the ground, and we couldn't get over. And we thought about going west to Non Pham Phnom or whatever we could find, but we hadn't worked that out ahead of time, so we didn't know how far it was, how much gas it would take, because we'd always come back into Vietnam. To make a long story short, we ended up in a thunderstorm that night, trying to climb. Luke, being an infantryman, a special forces guy, truly didn't understand the situation. I was basically trying to keep the airplane right side up. I had no directional control or anything else. It was extremely bumpy, and I really was trying to keep the airplane right side up, at the same time trying to climb it high enough to get over Big Mama, which was a big mountain to the west of Kontum. And just had no idea how long we'd been flying or what direction we'd been flying, didn't know where I was. All I knew, I was in a thunderstorm, and it was raining harder than hell and flashing all around us. For some reason, I turned on my landing light, and all I could see was trees. I mean, just right there. And I whipped the airplane around in a steep turn, which is a disorienting maneuver, especially at night in the dark, and you've got lightning flashing and everything. So then we were really up the creek. And Luke, I told Luke that we were in trouble, and I think that's the first he realized it. Otherwise, he was just sitting back there riding home with me like he always had. So he started looking out the window while I was fighting with the airplane, and at one point he said, "I see a river down there." And I looked. I couldn't believe he saw anything. The rain was so hard, and I looked out the window and down, which would do me no good for pilotage. But I looked, and sure enough, we could see the lightning flashing off a river, and it was a sucker hole, basically. And I cut the power and dove the airplane, I don't know how many thousands of feet, and leveled out on top of that river probably 100 feet. And we had crossed a ridge line, and we're not in the clear, but still raining like hell, and the visibility was poor, but I could at least see out of the airplane and see the river, but had no idea what river it was or where we were, until we noticed some tracers going off. I thought, well, we don't have any place else to go, let's go see what that is. And it turned out to be Dak To. They were having a firefight. They were being attacked, and we pulled right into the traffic pattern and landed on Dak To in the middle of a firefight. And we're glad to be there, just knowing where we were. So the aircraft didn't have the capabilities, nor did we have the experience at that time. That was very early in our careers.